Namaskar, I am Dr. Babita Jain. Today we will discuss about the next part of Plato's scheme of communism. We have already discussed about the first scheme of communism, that is communism of private property. So we have already discussed that Plato presented communism for the guardian class, that is, philosopher, king, and soldiers. Plato presented two types of communism for this ruling class, that is, communism of property and communism of family. Under the communism of property, Plato abolishes all the ownership and use of property, personal use of property for the ruling class, and they are not supposed to have their houses, their lands, their personal costly clothes, their personal jewelry. They are supposed to live a simple life, uh, and the economic burden of their belongings goes to the producers class, that is population at large. Today we will discuss about the next part of communism, that is communism of family or communism of wives. Uh, the main purpose of this communism is to detach the rulers from their mean and selfish emotions and make them come out for the larger goal of the ideal state, that is to service the city state without any selfish motive. Under this scheme, Plato presents the total abolition of the conventional family system. Plato substitutes the historical institution of permanent monogamous sexual relationship with the system of regulated cohabitation at the behest of rulers for the only purpose of best possible generation. In this system, Plato does not sanction marriage to the guardians, and in absence of marriage, the sexual relationship will be permitted by the state only for the reason to get the best possible offspring. So, in absence of permanent relationship of husband and wife, there would be no other relationship, like there will be no known mother and father, no brother and sister, no sister and sister. So all the conventional relations evolving in the family totally dissolves in this new scheme of communism. And the main characteristic is that the arrangements of restricted cohabitation are made strictly under the state guidelines. Quarantine tests are performed by the medical team of the state, and proficiency certificates are distributed that who can be, who can have mating with whom. So totally best male and female are allowed to have union under the astrological calculations, under the right age, and under the perfect mental and physical conditions and fitness. Thus, not for the personal happiness, not for the any selfish motive, mating is not a part of mental satisfaction in this system, but this becomes only a part of the higher national duty, duty to serve the nation and duty to give birth a best possible generation for the state at all. In this way, new relationship comes up because the moment the mothers give birth to the children, they are taken up by the state nurses and then they are given proper care under the state guidelines and under the state observances. All the mothers take care of all the newborn children and all the fathers give education to the children of different ages. So in this way, there emerge a large family instead of various families in pieces. So Plato's motive thus gets satisfied in this way because in his ideal state, Plato wanted to dissolve all the lower mean motives that all the motives that be reason for the corruption in the city state. So in this way, Plato does not absolutely abolish the family system, but Plato actually reforms the family system by transforming it into a community of families. Or we can say Plato presents a unique idea of nationalization of family. So now we have some insights that why Plato advocated such new type of nationalization of family. Plato had so many purposes and motives for that.